Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I do hope you guys are having an amazing day. And today in the kitchen, I will be showing you guys how to make the most juicy, flavorful, and crispy fried chicken wings. But before we get started, please go ahead and click that subscribe button and hit the bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Now let's get started. Now let's take a quick look at the ingredients. Here I have my wings that I have washed and prepped in lemon juice and vinegar. I have some garlic powder, onion powder, chicken bouillon powder, complete seasoning, cayenne pepper, paprika, black pepper, some seasoning salt, and I have here my homemade green seasoning. Now I will be leaving the link to this seasoning down in the description box for those that are interested. And I have here some buttermilk. Now let's get started. So what we're doing now is seasoning the chicken, and then we will brine the chicken. We will be doing both at the same time because I want the chicken to be seasoned right down to the bone. So I will add all of the seasonings in here and I will mix well. Then I will add the buttermilk and I will incorporate that into the chicken. Then I will sit this in my refrigerator overnight. See, the buttermilk is usually used to brine the chicken. This gives the chicken a nice juicy, flavorful and tender texture. So when you want a perfect chicken, you need to brine your chicken first before frying. Some people may use water, salt, and sugar as a brine also. And you could use just water and salt, whatever you like, but brining the chicken is key to getting the perfect fried chicken. Now I will put this in a Ziploc bag and I will sit it in my refrigerator overnight. So I just took these out of the refrigerator, and what I'll do next is I will sit them on a draining rack so they can drain. You don't want them to be dripping wet when you dip them into the flour because that'll cause clumps of flour on your chicken and that's not good. So we will allow this to drain first and we will allow it to come up to room temperature before we start frying. So we will let these sit on a draining rack for about 1 hour and allow them to come up to room temperature before we start frying them. So here's what you'll need for seasoning the flour to fry the chicken. Here I have some baking powder, some paprika, cayenne pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, chicken bouillon powder, some black pepper, seasoning salt, and some all-purpose flour. Let's continue. Add the baking powder to the flour along with all of the seasonings and mix well until everything is evenly combined. So now our chicken has come up to room temperature and it has drained thoroughly. And now we will go ahead and start coating it in the flour mixture. Now what I did was I added some of the flour mixture to a Ziploc bag just to make it easier to coat the chicken in here without getting your hands extra messy. And I left some of the flour into the bowl because I will be double dipping the chicken. So yeah, we will go ahead and start coating our chicken. We will shake well in this bag, and then we will place them on that cookie sheet right there. So now that the chicken is all coated, we will leave this to sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. You want that chicken to absorb the flour to where it no longer looks powdery. Kinda like that right there. You see that spot, how it looks? Like the flour is absorbed into the chicken. That's what we're looking for. So we will allow this to sit until the flour is sucked into the chicken. And then I'll show you guys the next step. So as you can see, most of our chicken has absorbed that flour. And what we'll do next is we will go ahead and spritz that chicken with some water. We will spray the chicken just so it could have a little bit more moisture for us to coat it a second time. Now people would usually dip this chicken into some eggs or water or whatever so they could have that, moisture. But I find when you do that, it takes off the seasonings and the coat of flour you put on the chicken, and I don't want that. So what I do is spritz the chicken with water. That will ensure that your chicken stays seasoned and the coat of flour is still on there. So here I have some clean flour that I've saved from the seasoned one before, and what I'll do is dip the chicken a second time in here, and I will place it on the baking dish. Now you don't want to use that flour that we used the first time, because what happens is the drippings from the chicken, it causes that flour to be a little clumpy, and it has clumps in there, and you don't want those clumps sticking to your chicken. You want a smooth finish. And to achieve that, I suggest you use like clean flour. So now we have our chicken double coated, and we will let this sit until we get our oil ready. So this will take about 8 or 7 minutes. So now on medium heat, I will start adding my chicken. You do not want to turn your heat up high because you don't want the oil to be too hot and your chicken burn on the outside, but it's still raw on the inside. So you want it to cook slowly, and you want it to have a nice golden brown color. So to achieve that, you will put your heat on medium, which should be about 300 to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And you don't want to overcrowd your pan either. You put a few pieces at a time. So after about 12 minutes, if you look closely, you can see my chicken has floated up to the top. You know, I like to fry my chicken in deep oil because that's a way of knowing when your chicken is done. When your chicken floats up to the top like this, that's when it's finished. And 9 out of 10 times, it's perfectly cooked. So I will remove these from the oil. Look how they're beautiful golden brown. And then I'll continue frying the others, and I'll be back with the finished product. So look at that, guys. The chicken is super crispy, tender, juicy, and flavored down to the bone. If you follow this recipe, you will not be disappointed. This is the best buttermilk fried chicken. Okay guys, so this is my version of buttermilk crispy fried chicken wings. I do hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, share it, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I will leave all the ingredients down in the description box, and I will see you guys in my next video. Enjoy!